In this week's On It with Stephen's Life, we take an inside look at room changes and how to follow the new rules and avoid the fines. And Stevens has finalized the buyback of Columbia Hall, find out what's new in the building, and has some students resisting to embrace the change. Room changes are happening all too often on Stevens College's campus, and Residence Life officials set a fine in place. Thank you for joining us. I'm Angel Mendez. Aaron Mazzola, director of Residence Life, said students have not been fined yet. The fine stems from previous students moving upwards of 4 or 5 times during one semester. Mazzola said this disrupts the students' ability to focus on academics and creates extra work for facilities, residence life, and accounting. No word on how much that fine will be for those who do have frequent room changes. And Stevens officials expect more than 100 people to attend the Family Weekend event starting Friday. Families can attend classes with their students, watch internship presentations, and check out different programs through tours around campus. A barbecue lunch will be served at the President's Home on Saturday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Adults are $7 and children are $3.50. You can find a complete list of events and times online at stevens.edu/campuslife/familyweekend. And a new learning session is being offered to students on how to manage anxiety. On It's Haley Johnson talked with an organizer. And Haley, what's the sole purpose of this event?
Well, Angel, according to a survey done by the Association for University and College Counseling Center Directors, the number one reason college students contact their counselor is anxiety. Mallory Langston, Stevens' own counselor, says that the group is to help students feel supported and realize that they are not alone in feeling this way. Every Wednesday afternoon, from noon to 1 p.m., you can grab your lunch and head on down to the lower level of Stamper Commons in the Counseling Center, formerly known as Health Services, to learn skills and tools for managing anxiety. It's also a great way to get community engagement points. Back to you, Angel.
All right, thank you, Haley. And for more information about this group, contact Health Services at 573-876-7157 or Mallory Langston at mlangston@stevens.edu. And Stevens College finalized the purchase of Columbia and Wood Hall during summer break, and several departments headed a variety of projects focused on renovations, deep cleaning, and the community living of Columbia Hall apartments. But in a special report, I found out why, despite all of the changes, some students dislike the building's new living arrangements. Facilities spent hours, day in and day out, repainting walls, cleaning showers, scrubbing floors, and tidying up what Residence Life officials considered a building in severe need of repair.
Towards the end of ownership by the previous company, that the building was not in the best condition, that it maybe was not taken excellent care of and all of that. So we were happy to get it back and to be able to get it up to our standard.
Floors went from yellow to white. There's now free laundry units on each floor, and each apartment has a newly installed flat-screen television. The facilities department even fixed little things. This hallway behind me was never fully lit. Now all 10 lights are in working order, not just on this floor, but on every floor. But when you walk into Columbia Hall, the new amenities are not the only additions you'll notice. Sign after sign indicating new building rules, a graduate resident in charge of the building, and a guest sign-in book at every entrance set an awkward tone with some students. This will be senior MPA major Christy Lee's 3rd year in the building.
Welcome to my crib. This building was viewed as a place for the upperclassmen to go and have more independence. Just because Stevens is pretty strict about living on campus, this was like your little safe haven of pretend you're not living on campus, but you get all the benefits of living on campus.
Now, she says, some of the new rules have taken away parts of that independence, and some students have shown their disapproval by tearing down signs and changing messages on the building's whiteboards.
I know that we've had some issues with disrespect, inappropriate behavior and all of that, people being resistant to the policies, but I like to think that that's the minority it's difficult to embrace change. And now that we have taken over the ownership of Columbia Hall, people that have lived there in the past that were used to the management of Premier Management, and now they're getting used to management by Stevens College.
With embracing that change, Lee admits it's all about integrity and representing yourself as an upperclassman when it comes to the new policies, like signing in guests.
I see where people are coming from, feeling like maybe they're being babied, and they're like kind of retaliating against that. But I think it comes with the expectation that we are upperclassmen living here, so we should be taking the responsibility to sign them in anyways.
Mazzola agreed, saying that upperclassmen enjoy more freedom in Columbia Hall to follow those rules on their own without residence life stationed at an entrance all day.
So we hope that in the coming weeks people will get used to it, accept it, and be respectful to everyone.
After saying all those rule changes, which I'm not personally like a huge fan of, I mean I would never live anywhere else. I like it the same. There's new rules, but it's just part of being out of college. I'm not bitter about it at all. I'm still happy to be living here, definitely.
Lalo also mentioned the buyback allows Stevens College to provide the same services to people that live in Columbia and Woodhull that would live in other residential buildings. Before, security was not allowed to enter the buildings if a student needed help. Instead, they were forced to call Columbia Police. No official word yet on whether or not Columbia Hall residents will be asked to move out again over the summer, but we'll continue to follow that story and bring you those details when we get them. Looking at news across America, state legislatures are pushing for a new law against revenge porn. Now, what this term refers to is when couples exchange nude photos, which are then posted by one or both people on a revenge porn website after a breakup. Sites like this one even include details about where the person pictured works or lives, sometimes linking directly to their Facebook page from that site. Victims say they have lost their jobs, been approached in stores by complete strangers, and been stalked. This month, California lawmakers passed the first law aimed at revenge porn sites, although it only makes some forms of revenge posting a misdemeanor punishable by jail time or a hefty fine so as to not infringe on the First Amendment. Now, victims are pushing for federal legislation. And news around the world, a shooting and standoff at the Westgate Mall in Nairobi, Kenya has finally ended. The series of events started Saturday afternoon as 10 to 15 al-Shabaab gunmen entered the mall and started shooting in different stores, taking hostages along the way. CNN reports at least 62 people have been killed, including 3 Kenyan soldiers, and at least 5 terrorists are dead. According to the Red Cross, 65 people are still missing and more than 175 were wounded. The Somalia-based al-Shabaab terror group posted on Twitter that the shooting was in retaliation for Kenya's involvement in an African Union military effort against the group. Today, Kenyan authorities said they're continuing to investigate this incident and will, of course, keep you updated as the story continues to unfold. And in the Limelight this week, where we highlight the most talked about entertainment news on it, Jessica Langford has more on what looks like a baby boom in the celebrity world. Jessica?
That's right, Angel. There's been quite a baby buzz with celebrities lately. On June 17th, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West welcomed into the world their baby girl, Northwest. Yes, you heard right, Northwest. This beautiful bundle of joy weighed at a tiny 4 pounds and 15 ounces. Following Miss Northwest was the arrival of Kate Middleton's and Prince William's son, Prince George Alexander Louis, weighing in at 8 pounds and 6 ounces. Kate not only looked flawless during her pregnancy, but apparently had a flawless delivery. And speaking of flawless, we are all patiently awaiting Halle Berry's little bun. The always stunning Halle Berry is expecting a baby boy. She and fiance Oliver Martinez haven't yet released the due date or the name, but it's expected that she's delivering sometime in October. And in the music world, Drake's highly anticipated album Nothing Was the Same planned to hit the shelves yesterday, but instead leaked earlier this week. According to Vibe magazine reviews, they aren't too quick to call the album a classic, but definitely agree that Drake has grown as a lyricist. Compared to his last album, Take Care, the reviews said that the flow has definitely changed. Songs such as The Language and Wu-Tang Forever show his growth as an artist. They give this album a stamp of approval and say that Drake is in his own lane. And then the latest thrillers to hit the theaters, Insidious Chapter 2 has some sleeping with the lights on. The sequel follows the story of the Lambert family from the first movie. The father's childhood repression hides a secret that dangerously affects him and his family, bringing them closer to the spirit world than ever before. Starring Patrick Wilson as the father named Josh Lambert, expect a good scare and anticipate a possible third movie in the series. And that's all for this week entertainment in the Limelight.
All right, thank you, Jessica. And even with seasonal changes, some fashion tips remain the same year-round. And on its Colby Elliott details those in Colbys Closet.
Hey guys, I'm here today to tell you about my top 5 fashion don'ts. Number 1, visible panty line. Ladies, please swap out these oh so unflattering panty lines for a thong. Number 2, visible bra straps. If you're wearing a tube top, it doesn't have a strap for a reason. So don't add your own by putting on a bra. Simply go strapless. Number 3, chipped nail polish. If a weekly manicure is not in your budget, try Sally Hansen Salon Effects Real Nail Polish for a sleek, no chipping alternative. Number 4, muffin top. If the jeans don't fit, you must have quit. And finally, number 5, too small shoes. Stop trying to make those heels work. I know they're cute and you can't live without them, but trust me, it will save you pain and embarrassment if you just